of his welcome. We have two reports on Rick Hansen's day in Sudbury. The first from Gord Nichols.
The city has a tremendous heart, a lot of spirit, and it's been evident the way they showed their enthusiasm today. But I think what strikes me the most is that I think that it's not just going to be a reception today and then that's the end of the tour. I think that the people that were there have been touched in some way, and I think it's going to reflect positively on disabled persons in the future in this community, and I think that's what it's all about, and that's great to see.
That was the reaction after he had wheeled past tens of thousands of people on Sudbury streets and been welcomed at the Sudbury Arena. Wherever the tour goes, the philosophy is the same, however. He's trying to change the attitude toward disabled people.
You know, we hope that the philosophy of the tour is that people will just take the spirit of the tour and say, look, I'm going to do the best I can, and I'm going to pursue my hopes and dreams as best I can. We're not trying to say that every disabled person should be able to physically go and do something like wheel around the world. That's quite the contrary. What we're saying is that maybe people have an impression of disabled persons that maybe has to be relooked at again. Maybe their attitudes have to be refocused.
An attitude that society is starting to take on, and that's the dream. Hopefully, as a result of the tour, people will work together to better understand disabled persons, to realize that there are many types of disabilities, but really ability is what counts, and that they can work together to break down barriers that still stand in the way of our potential.
Since leaving Vancouver in March of last year, he has ridden over 19,000 miles and banked $4.2 million. But he still has thousands of miles yet to go and won't be finished riding until next spring. But as he told residents and students at Participation House, a center for disabled citizens in Sudbury, the amount of money raised isn't really that important. That is not how the success of the tour should be judged. What is important, he says, is what happens as a result of this mammoth undertaking. He makes an awe-inspiring impression, and slowly the attitude of people in Canada and around the world is changing. He is making a mark.
On behalf of myself, my crew, thanks for giving us the inspiration to do the tour. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Gord Nichols, MCTV News.
Was tied up momentarily as motorists gave from their hearts to the Rick Hansen Man in Motion Fund.
Hi, would you like to give to Rick Hansen?
Yeah, I sure would.
Great.
Being quite generous, actually. You know, here there's not too many people right now, but the cars are all stopping at the red lights, and people are being very generous at this point.
And Sudburians began lining the streets Rick Hansen would travel with his entourage. They carried Canadian flags, blue ribbons, and good wishes with them.
His accomplishments are just unbelievable, so we are really thrilled just to see him. I just think the inner feeling and the excitement of seeing him. And
he got a lot of guts, that fella. You know, doing what he's doing.
One man who can really appreciate what Rick Hansen is doing is 21-year-old Danny Favell of Timmins, who undertook a mini Man in Motion tour from Timmins to New Liskeard, raising close to $10,000 for the Man in Motion Fund. And Danny, being here in Sudbury today, is it an exciting culmination of your efforts?
Yes, it is. I've been wanting to meet Rick Hansen since he started this trip. And I thought by doing my own mini Man in Motion tour, I could help out with his goal.
Favell waited anxiously with Sudbury General Hospital staff to join Rick Hansen for the remainder of his trek through Sudbury. Then the moment arrived when he would shake hands with the man many refer to as a modern-day hero.
Very good. Good to see you. How you been?
Great.
This meeting foreshadowed the thundering reception Hansen would receive when he arrived at the Sudbury Arena. It was an overwhelming reception as mayors, businessmen and women, and school students from around the region poured out their feelings for Rick Hansen. Then presentation after presentation followed, with more and more money going to aid spinal cord research. And Rick Hansen wasted no time in acknowledging the generosity of Sudburians.
I want to thank you
for being part of the dream. I want to thank you for your financial contributions for our Canadian Trust Fund for people with spinal cord injuries in 3 basic areas: spinal cord research, rehabilitation, and wheelchair sports. Thanks for... Thank you.
For most of us, this will be a day to remember, as Rick Hansen showed each and every one of us that goals can be reached despite one's disability.
Sudbury, Ernst & Winnie, 462. Champlain Catholic School, Chelmsford, 300. 300 from Killarney Firefighters.